The years leading up to this spring have been a long learning process. I've tested a lot of things out here in the forest for the last 6 years. Some worked and many didn't. Building this place wasn't just about putting up the walls. It was about figuring out how I actually want to live. A more free and self-sufficient life. And that took me longer than expected. Not to build this new house of mine, but to build up the knowledge and the skills to live the life that I imagined. And it has been a bit intense at times. However, this year feels different. It's like this spring marks a new beginning, or the first page of a new chapter. Not only in the forest, but also on this journey that I'm on. Because now, I finally get to use everything that I've learned. And slowly turn a dream into a more long-term reality. A dream of a more quiet life and a simple life. Where I'm more present in the now and take things slowly. Now it's not just temporary projects and experiments anymore. Now it feels more like the real beginning of the life that I actually came out here for. Not to build something just to survive or get by, but to build something that actually works and will last. This is the first season where it starts to feel permanent, functional and intentional. A part of me is tired, I must admit, but a bigger part of me is ready. Because I sense that what comes now is actually what I left the rat race for 6 years ago. It just took me a little time to get there. My first 5 years on this property were spent in a mobile tiny house, which was never a permanent situation. And this actually affected my entire lifestyle here on the property. Because when I didn't really know where my future house would be located on the property, I couldn't really do anything permanently. So in a way, I lived in a permanent state of impermanence. And that wasn't actually very satisfying, because anything that I put my energy into could be undone in the near future. And that was especially true for the garden and my self-sufficiency projects. So my garden became an ever-changing site for ongoing experiments. But it also meant that I didn't really dare to take down some trees, even though they really made it difficult to have a very productive kitchen garden. But now things have changed, and I'm ready to use what I've learned to build something more permanent. Alright, so now that I have opened up the sky to the southwest, I can finally utilize this part of the property into something more productive, because now I have a whole lot more sun coming in during the day. At least 6, 7, maybe 8 hours, depending on where it is. And that means that I can actually make some raised beds out here in what you call zone 1 in permaculture. And that's the zone where you have the vegetables that you need the most on a daily basis, so you have them closest to the house. And I will actually draw a whole lot of inspiration from permaculture in designing these raised beds. So the idea with these raised beds is that I will take some of the principles that we know from the hugel mounds in permaculture, where you have these rotting logs and leaves and branches in the bottom of the bed, and when they decompose, they release nutrients and nitrogen and sucked up rainwater to the plants on top. and that makes them actually much more drought resistant, the beds, than if they were just traditional raised beds. And then I think I will also turn these raised beds into like mini greenhouses by sticking in willow branches so they form a tunnel, and then cover them with some kind of transparent material so that they can be much more productive. It feels good to know that the things that I'll do from now on will be for the long run. The garden, the house, and the various off-grid setups and systems. And maybe without fully realizing it, I think that's something that I've missed all this time. I needed something more concrete and stable to latch my dreams onto. And now that I'm here, I'm actually quite excited to get started with all of it. Another aspect of this new chapter is the daily routines. They are slowly changing too. Too often I've been a bit too busy to fully embrace the small moments in the everyday. And often too tired in the evenings to really cook a proper meal and enjoy much of the food from my garden. And I've focused more on building out off-grid systems and developing the garden than to create actual recreational spaces. Like the terrace, for instance, and a lot of other cozy spots for relaxation on the property that I will develop this year. Because time has now come to slow down a little bit. Maybe more on the inside than on the outside, but still. And I'm looking forward to spending more time in the kitchen and cooking with what I have. I've even started baking my own bread. For the first time in, I think, forever almost. That's just one of many new routines that will help me slow down somewhat and also help me enjoy the small moments more. And by baking my own bread and making more food from the bottom up, I can save a lot of trips to the supermarket. Because who doesn't prefer freshly baked bread over something that you can buy in a plastic bag? And what it also teaches me is to live more with less and not constantly be driving back and forth for supplies. It's cheaper, more enjoyable, and less restless. And it's funny because living slowly like this was actually what I imagined from the beginning, but I just got so caught up with the busyness of building this new life. So now these new routines will help me get back on track. So right now I'm more or less helplessly sketching this drawing where I will map out the different recreational spaces for this new property, because that's a very important part of this new chapter of my life. Because if there is one thing that I think I learned in the prior years up till now, then it is that if you don't have recreational spaces, then you just don't relax, because then you just find an excuse to do some work. But if you have a space that invites relaxation and you can't resist it, then it's more likely that you will actually relax. So that's the ingenious point of these new spaces that I will design. And obviously the sunroom behind me is a very nice spot, especially here in the spring, because it accumulates a lot of heat, so I can sit on the sofa out there, and I also have a table and some chairs so I can drink a cup of coffee. And the terrace out here is also very important, because this is where I will wine and dine with my friends when they come over. And I also get to overview the wildlife zone in front of the terrace. I'll talk more about that in the next chapter. So that's a pretty nice spot as well. And then I have my bonfire place just below the terrace here, so it's an easy access for me to go down and grill some food, and also from there I can overlook the meadow and enjoy the evening sun over there. And then if I walk down to the oak tree over there, I will have a hammock there so I can overview the wildlife zone and also overview the meadow in the evening when the sun sets. So that will be a pretty nice spot too. And then if you walk through the garden up to that entrance of the property, then you have like a very nice view to the meadow in the evening, and you also have the morning sun coming in. So I imagine that that will be a pretty great spot for having a table and some chairs as well. So when I have my guests over, we can have like an evening drink over there, or maybe dine over there as well. So I think that's at least the most important recreational spaces for my new property. So what I'm doing right now with these stones is that I'm marking up the site where I will have my new garden pond, because I want to have like this biodiversity booster, which water always is in a garden. And it's because like in this new chapter of this homestead, I really want to like give something back to nature in a way, because I've been taking down trees and I've been using materials for the house. So I think now time has come to give something back. And so I'm trying to create this biodiversity booster, but I will also like plant a lot of native species of plants and try to make habitats for birds and other animals, so that they have this bio corridor that connects to the wider forest. But right now I just need to plant out a whole lot of trees in this area. I must admit that spending 6 years building your own home turns you into somewhat of a loner. Because all of this was so time consuming, I just didn't feel like I had the time or the energy to invest in anything else. So doing something for other than just myself didn't feel like an option for a while. However, I actually did have a volunteer job in a town nearby. But with the new house coming up, I just simply couldn't find the time. Which has actually bothered me for a while, because I don't want to just live a selfish life for myself out here in the forest. But when the new house is built and the garden has been established, I know that I can free up a lot more time again. Because a permaculture garden is in fact very permanent. Once it's set up, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time maintaining it. Other than of course harvesting the fruits of your labor. In fact, my friend Thomas calls permaculture gardening for lazy people, and I think he's right. However, the point being is that I to some extent actually miss being a part of the world around me. And having the feeling that I'm giving something back to it. I guess this is the next step in my home building process. Thank you so much for watching this video. Some of you might have noticed that this video was a little different from the ones that I usually make, because here I'm discussing like an aspect of my personal journey with self-sufficiency and living tiny, but in a way where I illustrate it with practical examples in different chapters. And the reason why I did it like this is because I'm trying to hone in on some kind of a video format that works better for the most of you most of the time. Because I have tried now time and time again to make very like practical videos, like gardening videos and building videos, and they almost always tend to not do very well. So I need to be a little bit more wise about things, and I want to hone in on some kind of a concept that works better for this channel. So please let me know down in the comment section if you enjoyed this type of video or if you didn't enjoy this type of video, because then I can take that into consideration until next time. But if you enjoy these more reflexive and a bit philosophical videos, then you can go and check this playlist where I have other similar videos. And if you didn't see the video from last week, which was a more practical video, then you can go and watch that here. So thank you so much for now. I really hope you enjoyed it and maybe even found some inspiration. See you again next time. Bye.